Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're paying attention to the NFL landscape right now, you already know that the NFC East is arguably the most competitive division in football. You've got teams with legit playoff potential, but what if I told you that the Commanders are making a move that could redefine their entire defensive approach and push them into serious Super Bowl contention? That's exactly what insiders are buzzing about today. It all centers around a recent blockbuster trade involving a rising star in the pass-rushing department, Jonathan Greenard. The Commanders, who have historically struggled to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, are making a bold statement by acquiring Greenard from the Minnesota Vikings, and this move could be a game-changer for their entire defense. So what makes Greenard so special? Well, for starters, he's a player that broke out in 2024 with a stunning performance that put him among the top edge rushers in the league. Last season, he racked up 11 sacks, which placed him in the top 15 among all NFL edge rushers, and his 5 tackles for loss demonstrate just how disruptive he can be in the backfield. But it's not just about the numbers. Greenard's advanced metrics show he's an elite talent. His EPA, expected points added per snap, which measures his efficiency on a per-play basis, was plus 0.19, highlighting his ability to make game-changing plays consistently. His PFF grade of 86.3 put him in the top 10 among edge defenders, making him a clear standout. And let's not forget, Greenard was drafted in 2020 out of Florida, and since then he's been steadily climbing the ranks. His career stats are impressive: 32 sacks, 45 tackles for loss, and pressures totaling around 180. His win rate in one-on-one pass rush situations sits around 20%, and he faces double teams about 25% of the time, which speaks to his threat level. Last season, he had a notable game against the Packers in Week 3, recording 5 pressures and 1 sack in a single game. Those are the kind of disruptive plays the Commanders are desperately looking for. Now, let's talk about what this means for Washington. Currently, the Commanders have a pass rush that frankly has been underwhelming. Through 5 games, they've only registered 8 sacks, ranking them 29th in the NFL. That's a significant issue when you're trying to keep pace in a division packed with explosive offenses. Adding Greenard immediately elevates their pass rush, and projections suggest he could bring around 7 more sacks per season, boosting their total from just 8 to potentially 20. That's a massive upgrade, especially considering the team's current defensive stats and the need to pressure quarterbacks more consistently. What about the fit? Greenard's playing style is reminiscent of some of the best in the league. He's a relentless edge rusher, capable of devouring offensive linemen and creating chaos in the backfield. His ability to rush the passer from different angles, combined with his bend and speed, makes him a perfect foil for Frankie Louvu, who is already a force on the other side of the line. When these two combine, the Commanders' defense could become a nightmare for opposing offenses. Greenard's pressure rate, which was about 15% last season, will likely rise in Washington, and that means more sacks, more forced hurried throws, and ultimately more turnovers. And there's more to this move than just adding a talented player. The Commanders are also expected to see a significant boost in their overall defensive efficiency. Their PFF rush grade could jump from around 77.2 to over 84, which is a huge leap. This uptick in pressure and disruption can help them reduce points allowed, shifting from allowing roughly 24 points per game down to around 19. That's a difference that can win close games, especially with a talented quarterback like Sam Howell leading the offense, who's been showing promise this season. The team's offensive line has had some issues, but with a stronger pass rush, Howell will have more time and space to operate, opening up the playbook and increasing their chances of sustained drives and scoring opportunities. Now, let's consider the division. The NFC East is no joke. You've got teams like the Eagles, who are already stacked with talent, and the Cowboys, who have one of the best defenses in the league. The Giants are still trying to find their rhythm, but they're dangerous too. For Washington to truly compete at the highest level, they need that pass rush to be elite. Greenard helps them get closer to that goal. His addition is not just about individual stats, but about elevating the entire team's defensive identity. With him on the line, the Commanders could see a jump from a modest total of 8 sacks last season to a projected 20 this season, making them one of the top pass-rushing units in the league. And what about the playoffs? Well, this move could be the X factor. Greenard's ability to generate pressure in critical moments, especially in dome environments or under playoff lights, could be the difference between an early exit and a deep playoff run. His rushes against mobile quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts could be particularly impactful, boosting the defense's EPA versus the run and pass and forcing opposing offenses into uncomfortable situations. The odds for the Super Bowl now have shifted from plus 5,000 to plus 3,000, and the NFC East is favored at plus 300, which indicates that odds makers are starting to see Washington as a legitimate contender. Of course, there are some risks involved. The Vikings, who are in a very competitive NFC North with a 4-1 record, decided to move Greenard, primarily because they are prioritizing their offensive line and cap space. They allowed $11 million in cap savings by trading him, focusing on extending their secondary, which has been a strength for them. But that also means they're willing to accept a potential dip in their pass rush performance. Losing a player like Greenard could hurt them, especially since their pass rush has been somewhat inconsistent. The Vikings, with a cap space of around $20 million, are trying to balance their roster, but that leaves a question mark about their ability to replace Greenard's production. For Washington, however, this move is a clear statement. They're investing in a player who is still ascending, with the potential to be a top-tier pass rusher for years to come. The fit is perfect. Greenard's style complements Frankie Louvu, and his presence can help the team reach the elite level they've been striving for. The coaching staff will likely utilize him in a variety of ways, pinning him on the edge, using him in stunts, and creating blitz packages that keep quarterbacks guessing. The defense could see a transformation, leading to more turnovers, more 3-and-outs, and better field position for the offense to work with. Looking ahead, if Greenard continues his trajectory and stays healthy, the Commanders could see a significant improvement in their overall defense. They might even finish the season as a top 10 team in sacks, with projections of around 20 or more. This, combined with their offensive improvements, could push them from being a playoff hopeful to a legitimate NFC contender. The division remains volatile, but with Greenard anchoring the pass rush, their chances of making a serious postseason run increase dramatically. And let's not forget the fans. Washington supporters have been yearning for a defense that can dominate, that can impose its will on opponents. Greenard's arrival is a statement. They're serious about competing at the highest level. His ability to rush the passer, pressure the quarterback, and create chaos in the backfield will energize the entire team and fan base alike. It's a move that signals the Commanders are not just trying to stay afloat, they're aiming for the top of the NFC East and beyond. In summary, this trade is more than just a player swap. It's a strategic move that could define the upcoming seasons for Washington. Greenard's talent, combined with the team's existing pieces, has the potential to transform their defense into one of the most feared in the league. The division rivals should be on notice because the Commanders are stacking their deck, and Greenard might just be the key piece that makes their Super Bowl dreams a reality. The NFL season is unpredictable, but one thing is for sure. With Greenard in Washington, the landscape of the NFC East is shifting, and the Commanders are poised to make a serious statement. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this blockbuster trade? Do you believe Greenard can be the missing piece to elevate this defense into the elite tier? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, this is just the beginning. I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insights on everything happening with the Washington Commanders. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this conversation going because the best is yet to come for this franchise. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders.